Welcome! Today we're going to dive into something absolutely fascinating, biotechnology. Now I know it's a massive, world-changing field, and honestly, the sheer scope of it can be a little overwhelming to track. So, in this explainer, we're going to break it down. We're going to explore the color-coded framework that neatly maps out this entire scientific landscape into 4 distinct branches. Let's get right into it.
Now, did you know that biotechnology isn't just about laboratories? It is so easy to stereotype biotech as just, isolated scientists in white coats doing lab work. But the reality? Its applications are integrated directly into our everyday lives. We're talking about everything from the medicines sitting right there in your bathroom cabinet to the actual fuels pumping into our vehicles.
Okay, let's dive into this definition really quickly. At its core, biotechnology is simply the practice of solving specific problems using living organisms, cells, or biological processes. It's really that simple. And because the problems we face in the world are so incredibly diverse, the whole field is cleverly organized into different branches based on exactly where those solutions are applied.
So what are these branches? We've got red biotechnology, green biotechnology, white biotechnology, and finally, blue biotechnology.
Let's start with branch number 1. Red biotechnology, which focuses entirely on human health and medicine.
You can think of red biotech as the engine behind modern medical breakthroughs. Just look at these examples. We're talking about foundational treatments here, things like mass-produced insulin and life-saving vaccines. But it also stretches all the way to the absolute frontiers of personalized care. Things you hear about in the news like stem cell therapy, gene therapy, and monoclonal antibodies, literally using biology to save lives.
So the crucial point is the real-world impact, which is just profound. Better healthcare, personalized medicine, and the treatment of genetic disorders. By manipulating biology at the cellular level, we aren't just treating symptoms anymore, right? We're actively finding ways to cure genetic disorders that, honestly, we once thought were completely untreatable. It's a total game changer.
Moving right along to branch number 2, green biotechnology, which is all about agriculture.
Look, to feed a rapidly growing global population, we literally have to re-engineer how we grow our food. And that's exactly what green biotech does. It allows us to develop pest-resistant and disease-resistant crops, which hugely minimizes harvest losses. It also helps us adapt to harsh climates by engineering drought-tolerant plants and using biofertilizers to naturally nourish the soil. We're even using techniques like tissue culture to rapidly propagate the absolute most resilient plant varieties out there.
So, what's the ultimate benefit here? Well, these biological innovations lead to staggering increases in crop yields, while drastically reducing our reliance on harsh chemical pesticides. When you think about global starvation and farming inefficiencies, green biotech is really the absolute cornerstone of our future food security.
Next up is branch number 3, white biotechnology, which focuses on industry.
And this brilliantly illustrates where biology meets mass manufacturing. Instead of relying on fossil fuels or harsh petrochemicals, white biotechnology uses tiny microorganisms and fermentation processes to produce sustainable biofuels, biodegradable plastics, and specialized industrial enzymes. Actually, think of it this way. We're essentially growing our materials rather than extracting them from the earth. How cool is that?
By making this shift away from traditional industrial methods, we achieve vastly cleaner production and significantly lower pollution. White biotech is literally the key to decoupling modern manufacturing from severe environmental damage. It's the ultimate solution for cleaning up our industrial footprint and making truly sustainable industries a reality.
And finally, we have branch number 4, blue biotechnology, which is all about marine resources.
You know, the ocean is basically a massive, relatively untapped frontier for biological discovery. Down there, beneath the waves, scientists are finding incredible things. They're harvesting unique marine enzymes, developing novel seaweed products, and discovering totally new compounds for medicines and marine cosmetics. Plus, of course, they're advancing modern aquaculture. The benefits here are huge for us. These aquatic discoveries are leading to entirely new classes of drugs that we simply couldn't find on land. Furthermore, advancing sustainable seafood production really takes the strain off wild fish populations. So it's actually helping to protect our planet's fragile marine ecosystems while still providing for us. Now, what's really interesting about this synthesis is seeing it all side by side. When we lay out these 4 branches, the true power of biotechnology just becomes so clear. Whether it's the red branch for medicine, green for agriculture, white for industry, or blue for marine science, they neatly categorize everything. They represent this unified, incredibly elegant framework where biological tools are customized for distinct global applications.
While each branch focuses on its own distinct sector, it's important to remember they don't operate in a vacuum. Together, they represent a singular, incredibly powerful biological toolkit working in absolute harmony, improving our healthcare, feeding the world, cleaning up our industries, and securing long-term environmental sustainability.
As we look toward the future, biology is no longer just something we study in a textbook, right? It's something we literally build with. So I'll leave you with this. Which of these 4 branches of biotechnology interests you the most? Which one do you think is going to have the most profound impact on our society over the next decade? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep exploring the incredible science that's actively shaping our world.